Hey guys, so I'm beginning a new TV slash movie reaction series, and this one is on a series called Sharpe's Rifles. Now, on this channel, I think the only thing that has separated me from every other historically based YouTube channel is simply because I like watching a lot of historical slash historical fiction, um, shows and movies, and mainly the Napoleonic ones. We've covered Waterloo, we covered the 1960s War and Peace four-part movie series, we covered, the French 2002 Napoleon miniseries, and now I am back with the Napoleonic Wars with Sharpe's Rifles, which, from what I've heard, is based on a series of novels that I have unfortunately not read, and I apologize. I'm going into this completely blind. And for anyone new here, I do history reactions, a lot of battles, a lot of historical moments, but I do stretch out into historical movies and shows every few months, and I'm willing to push it to historical fiction, such as like War and Peace. Obviously, a lot of the characters are fictionalized, but its portrayal of the Napoleonic War and its warfare is historically accurate. So that's as far as I'm willing to go, obviously. Like, I'm basically beyond history based on this channel, but I'm willing to push it to historical fiction and stuff. And, that's as far as I'm gonna go. I'm unfortunately never gonna watch, like, stuff like Star Wars on here. you, but, it has to be grounded in historical stuff. And, yeah, like I said, I watch a lot of Napoleonic content, and I think I'm gonna end it with this series, because I really need to get out of the Napoleonic era. I feel like we're already past that on this channel. But I'll admit, it is an interesting era. So, this will be part 1. I'm just gonna leave it out here. Again, this is a 14-part, series, each one an hour and 40 minutes around, and with my commentary, it's gonna be like 2 hours of me sitting here. And, I just want to lead this out and see if it does well enough, hopefully. Um, if it does, I would like to continue. I mean, I still probably will continue. I never like leaving things undone, unfinished, but I might move much slower, So I'll just leave it out and see how this does. Hopefully well enough. I'll have more motivation, because again, this might be the longest commitment I might do to a series, because this is 14 episodes, so we haven't gone that far in this channel yet, just movies and a few miniseries, so, we'll see. So, yeah, I know that this is set during the Napoleonic Wars. I believe the early parts I heard are set during the Peninsula War, in Spain and Portugal and stuff. So it'll be interesting to see, and I believe this is told through the British perspective, and, as they fight against, good old Boney the Ogre, so... Yeah, that's kind of the synopsis I know of it. Oh, I know it stars Sean Bean, so I hope I got the actor's name right. I apologize if I didn't. Considering he's legendary, yeah. Point is, I'm just gonna call him Sean Bean, and or Mr. Bean. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing what this series has to offer, and I guess this will be our last little foray into the Napoleonic Wars, at least in like TV and movies sections, and yeah. With that said, and now without any further ado, we should probably get to it, huh? Let's do it. Let's watch Sharpe's Rifles. Okay, let's read this. I'm gonna turn off the music, just in case copyright. Okay. Napoleon Bonaparte is the master of Europe. His brother Joseph sits on the throne of Spain. Sir Arthur Wellesley, soon to be Lord Wellington, the new British commander, has taken the city of... Okay, wait. Bordeaux from the French. He now resists the forces before making an advance into Spain.
Morning, Hogan.
Morning, Sir Arthur.
Oh, that's supposed to be Arthur Wellesley. There's the man. There's his handsome face. So yeah, Sean Bean. It's actually really cool to see him. You know, I feel like Sean Bean from like the 90s, all the way to like the early 2010s, like Game of Thrones. I feel like that time period was kind of his peak in terms of just the amount of projects he was in. You know, from GoldenEye, there's this series, there's Troy. He was literally in Oblivion, a great Elder Scrolls game. Well, obviously Game of Thrones. I feel like he just had a magnificent run from like the 90s to early 2010s. Like that definitely was like so. Oh, and did I say Lord of the Rings? I'm sorry. But yeah, I feel like he just had like a great run from that time period. I haven't heard of much of him yet. The last time I heard about Sean Bean was like back when he was that Roman centurion in the film Young Jesus. I just remember the trailers, but yeah, that's the last time I heard about it, which was like a decade ago. So, man, I'm sure he's still working, but I feel like this definitely was like him at his peak, right? Like early, that time period that I mentioned. He's a great actor. Like he's kind of legendary, like I said, you know. Okay, the French are planning a sneak attack. Oh, snap. Holy crap. Oh, Brian Cox, too? All these actors I'm recognizing, holy crap.
Better late than never, Hogan. What's your name?
Sharpe. Sergeant. 2nd Battalion, 95th Rifles, sir.
I'm much obliged to you. I'm giving you a field commission, Sharpe. From this moment on, you're a lieutenant in the 95th. Major Hogan, meet Mr. Sharpe.
Alright, so that was cool. An interesting opening that I really enjoyed. So that's Arthur Wellesley, also known as the Duke of Wellington. And yeah, essentially almost got jumped by the French and having, you know, Sharpe rescue him. So that's pretty cool overall, you know?
Light duties mean staying at headquarters and being snubbed by snobs. How would you like me to find you something else?
As long as it's safe, sir.
That's my boy.
We need somebody to command Donnett's sharpshooters. And Sharpe will be much happier up in the mountains than up in the mess. You know the problem, Sir Arthur. Not one of us.
Lieutenant Sharpe.
Holy crap. Yeah, so first impressions, Sharpe definitely comes across, we're only like a few minutes in, like literally 7 minutes, but I want to already try to get to analysis mode. So Sharpe seems very, how do you say, grizzled, and like very rugged, I think is the word I'd use. And obviously he's been promoted, and Hogan, Brian Cox's character, seems to want to keep him in the field because the higher up positions of like the military with all the, you know, talking and stuff, probably doesn't seem like, at least he realizes it doesn't seem like what Sharpe would best be fit in. Seems like Sharpe is more of the kind of guy to want to get his hands dirty, be more in the action, you know, and probably Hogan realizes this and wants to put him out, you know, and have him do stuff instead of just sitting around. And obviously you see with that little interaction there, before he enters the room, that the higher ups don't seem to view Sharpe kind of in the best light, kind of like as an equal. So yeah, that seems to be what I'm getting. I could be completely wrong, I'm just speculating. I guess we'll find out as the series continues, you know?
London's late, the army's broke, and we owe the lads 2 months' wages. What do you do when you're short of cash, Sharpe?
Do without, sir.
You borrow, Richard, from a bank. 10 weeks ago, James set out from Vienna with the bank draft. He was to travel across France, across the Pyrenees, and into Spain, and make a rendezvous at a place called Casa, Antigua. James Rothschild never turned up.
So, we're gonna send out a search party, led by
Dunnett.
Major Dunnett. It means going 100 miles into occupied French territory. Care to come along, Sharpe?
But
Good. Tomorrow, I go on ahead.
Okay, so this is pretty awesome. We covered from the last scene that, you know, they're on a mission to track down someone who's supposed to rendezvous with them to, you know, secure finances. Didn't make the trip, and so now they're off to go find. And I think it's really working well. I think I kind of like the aspect of, you know, obviously with the Peninsula War, a lot of it was kind of portrayed by guerrilla warfare, you know what I mean? Like, having better intelligence and the Spanish and English working together to just keep getting one over the French. And I think a large part of it was, you know, Napoleon and his marshals excelled at, like, pitched battles. But the Peninsula War, often kind of nicknamed Napoleon's Vietnam, really the reason the marshals didn't do so well is because, yeah, they were fighting essentially a guerrilla war, which I don't think any of them were used to, you know. And a big advantage that the British had is simply better knowledge, because, you know, all of Spain was basically fighting the French and, you know, giving any intelligence and aid they could to the English, who were, you know, their allies. And that was a real big advantage. So I kind of like that espionage aspect, you know, and I think it works really well for this.
soldier, who goes there?
Lieutenant Sharpe, 95th Rifles.
Forgive me, sir, I didn't see you proper.
He could have had you shot, Sergeant.
Not me. Major Dunnett didn't like officers made out from the ranks.
Up! Up, you lazy bastards!
Okay, so this is a good introduction to, I guess, you know, his men and the unit he's gonna be commanding now. First impression, they're, they don't exude, like, the kind of discipline you'd imagine from, like, a soldier's, right? And I'm guessing Sharpe now is realizing he's gonna have to get his hands full in order to use this group, you know, to accomplish whatever task he has. I'm assuming this is gonna be the team he's gonna be working with the rest of the series. So it's interesting. Like, now he's gonna have to basically instill a type of discipline and a leadership, you know, and get this ragtag bunch and use them as effectively. Though, you know, Hogan just stated that they are some of the best at what they do in terms of shooting, and so maybe Sharpe might find a type of I don't know, I guess common ground with them, I suppose. And maybe even... I imagine there's gonna be camaraderie later on. We'll see. This is one of those instances where I'm assuming it's gonna be like a rough start, rough first introduction, but things will get better with time. And he really comes into his own as a leader, you know? That's what I'm assuming, I don't know.
Come on!
Can't you see I'm an officer, you bloody bog trotter?
And I'm Napoleon Bonaparte.
Has anybody seen the new officer? Major Dunnett told me to find him.
What's this? Liquor? Liquor displeases the Lord. Give it here, Harper, so I can destroy it. Oh, blimey, a bloody Methodist. Who the blazes are you, sir? Sharpe.
Sharpe? Are you the fella that Wellesley raised from the ranks?
Sir.
These papers are in order, sir.
Seems Sharpe distinguished himself.
Not here, he hasn't. Brawling with common soldiers. Won't do, Sharpe.
No, sir.
Harper, you struck an officer. It's a shooting matter.
I woke him up, sir. He thought I was an intruder. All my fault, sir.
If you say so.
Yeah, talk about a rough start, eh? But, yeah, I really like that, you know, he still stuck out his neck for the other guy. Like, oh, you know, I woke them up instead of, like, throwing them under the bus. I assume that's probably a good, a turning around point, or at least at the beginning of one after that. So, yeah, definitely this cast of unruly characters, and now Sharpe leading them. It's gonna probably be a major development, I'd imagine, right?
Name? Cooper. Sir. You? Daniel Agman, County of Cheshire.
Well? Harris, from Wheatley in Oxfordshire.
Isaiah Tongue, sir. Yes, I know that.
Why are you here, Harper? You bone-headed paddy.
The chosen men, eh?
Well, I didn't choose you. But remember this. I know you all. I've always known you. You and your kind all my life. All I know is how to fight. So if there's any man amongst you expecting a quick ramble through this war, now's the time. Right. Join the column at the double. We're face!
Alright, so this is a really interesting, two characters here. The woman and, I'm assuming the guy with her who was trying to secure the case. They both appear to be Spanish, man, because they were speaking Spanish earlier, I'm guessing, and, yeah, what I'm getting is they're obviously a part of, you know, in the fight against the French, and they're gonna be, I imagine, pivotal characters in helping, the English so far, because we haven't gotten a proper introduction into who they are, but we've already established, that they're in it, you know, the fight and whatnot. So, yeah, I'm just taking note because they seem important, and they will be important.
Why so hard?
He's just not right, Cooper. He's not happy being an officer. And mark my words, he'll bring us bad luck. We'll do it tomorrow. In the mountains.
Oh, snap. Yeah, this French officer seems to, like... Yeah, okay, so there's definitely a sneak attack seeming priming to be happening. And, alright, that's interesting. Alright, the French are attacking, holy crap. Oh, snap.
Oh my god.
Yeah, honestly. Dude, the French keep striking out of literally nowhere so far. Which is a really interesting thing, and Sharpe obviously didn't get involved in this fight. I'm assuming because he probably thought, okay, wait, no. We can't actually win. Or at least that's what I'm kind of getting at the moment. So yeah, like I said, the French just keep striking out of nowhere so far, like... It's really interesting, and this French officer with the green, and the red and the yellow, seems to kind of be the guy leading the charge. So he's definitely giving me main antagonist energy at the moment. So yeah.
Mira esos ingleses escondidos ahí.
They're just chilling, watching all this.
No! No!
Oh, snap.
Perkins, I want you to protect this pennant with your life.
Dang, complete annihilation. They just got jumped, essentially. So, they only managed to save, what, like two of them? So, yeah. Dang, man.
Ese es mi hombre. Lo necesito.
You did well today, Sharpe. You try to find your way to Casa Antigua. Don't be too hard on the men, Sharpe. You see, the lads don't like an officer who's come from the ranks. They want an officer to be privileged, set apart from them.
Yeah, that's an interesting theme that we have running through here, is that Sharpe got raised by, you know, his axe, not because, you know, of any highborn station. And it seems like a lot of people don't like that, or like him because of that. And even his own, like, men, like, don't like him. And I think it's not helping the fact... I mean, I think it's because definitely there's a sense of he's not so much above us. He's, like, almost from, I guess, cut of the same cloth, which in some types of leadership, I think later on, maybe it might prove, like, oh, he is one of us, but he can't be a leader. Maybe later on. But, like, beginning, like, oh, you know, you don't respect him because he's not from anywhere in their eyes, you know, worth respecting from, if that makes sense. But, and even he seems miserable at his new, like, higher position. It seems like Sharpe definitely isn't the kind of guy to, like, this new bigger responsibility seems to be something that he's not used to, something he's probably not, liking. You know what I mean? So, this is definitely, I guess, a learning aspect. I think it really is kind of just one of those aspects of just, we gotta learn and adapt and kind of coming into his own. I don't know what the story trope is when it's called that, but it's called, is it the hero's journey? I don't think I'm using that correctly, but, you know what I mean, in terms of someone having to, you know, definitely come into their own and essentially, you know, learn to step up as a leader and whatnot. So, this is something definitely, I think it's gonna be a big theme and a very interesting aspect that you see even Sharpe. I think that's kind of what's unique. Sometimes when people in like these stories, when someone comes from like a lower position and goes into a higher authority, they're kind of like, yeah, I want to prove myself. This is what I wanted, the big promotion. I think what's unique about this story so far is that Sharpe isn't like that. He's like, oh, great, now I have to do more. Like, now I have to do this. And he doesn't like it. No one else likes him. So you're kind of getting this sense that he's not as happy. Or this isn't what he wants to, but he's a reluctant leader or hero in that regard. So, yeah, that's an interesting aspect so far to this story that I think separates it from others, you know?
Get Patrick Harper on your side.
Yeah, Harper. It's the one
Is that an order, sir?
Hates him the most.
I want you to have my sword. Maybe if the men see you carry it.
They'll think I'm a proper officer.
No, they'll think I liked you.
Honestly, yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Dang.
We're lost, aren't we? So we'll be heading south towards Lisbon and home.
My orders are we continue north.
What for? What are we doing up here anyhow?
Did you ask Major Dunnett or Captain Murray to explain their orders, Harper?
No, but with all due respect, sir, Captain Murray and Major Dunnett were proper officers. And now they're dead. There's no shame in going home. We're not continuing north.
Oh.
We want to go south.
Dang. Aye. Mutiny time! Yeah, they're having a straight up mutiny. Yeah, definitely Sharpe seems kind of out of his element, and he's kind of seems to be relying more on just being kind of like I'm the tough, no-nonsense leader, like, do what I say or else, and everyone's just like, nah, we're not having it, dude. You know, we don't view you like that, so... Yeah, this is definitely an interesting challenge, I think, that, I don't know, he has to kind of overcome. So this is definitely an interesting aspect that I'm enjoying so far.
Very well. Fetch my pack, Harper.
Oh my gosh. Yo, I was not expecting the ball attack, bro. Low blow, literally. But, yeah, this seems like Harper and, you know, Sharpe are definitely the most at odds. And I think this is kind of, I'm assuming this is kind of the fight to, I'm not sure if one of them was about, I mean, I'm not sure if it's gonna have to end up with one of them, or at least in their minds, one of them dying. But I imagine this is the fight to kind of straight up determine, who's in charge. Kind of like an establishing your dominance moment, is we'll see, through force, you know. Oh, holy crap.
Who are you, sir?
Major Blas Vivar, Count of Matamoro. Major General in the Royal Army of His Most Catholic Majesty, Ferdinand VII, King of Spain. Perhaps they do not promote you because you fight with your men. Spain and England, we are allies.
What are you doing here? And don't tell me a stupid lie about being lost 100 miles behind French lines, Lieutenant.
We are looking for the village of Casa Antigua. That is all I can tell you.
If you were French, I would take a knife and you would tell me all I wanted to know.
But we are allies.
Allies? Do allies keep secrets from each other?
Lovers keep secrets from each other.
Oh.
Yet they still make love.
Oof. Hard. Heck, that's a hard line.
I think your men agree.
You ask your men what to do?
Yes. I don't always do it, but I ask. Don't you? Or do you just beat them until they do it?
2 boards and some pitch. Hagman, I want a lantern, a pound of gunpowder, and a pound of old iron. Cooper, go on sentry.
That box on the horse. They never take their eyes off it. I heard your man telling you it was full of old documents. That's not so. You see, a lot of documents is a lot of paper. And paper's heavy. But they lift that box as if it's as light as a feather.
Nice one.
Why is that colonel chasing you?
He's chasing you.
Nah. They're after you. Why? Because of what's in that chest.
Yeah, there's definitely secrets on both sides. Like, right? Yeah, so definitely there is secrets between the two. Obviously, Sharpe was tasked with not giving out exactly what he's supposed to, what the mission is, even to his own men, in case of capture or whatnot. And obviously, something's going on with the chest and the Spanish, so it's definitely an uneasy alliance for sure. But they're definitely not everyone is showing their cards, so it's definitely like, we have a common enemy, but that's the only thing keeping us from, like, also kind of having issues, at least for the moment, you know? Definitely just their mutual, disdain for the French, you know?
Spain, an officer must be of the blood. Un caballero. Righteous but charming, a gentleman.
Sorry. Wrong house, miss.
Is that why you have trouble with your men?
Perkins told you that, did he? He's right. You may as well know the rest. My mother was a whore. I was born in a brothel, grew up in an orphanage and hoped to die in the army. You listen to soldiers' gossip, Ma'am.
Yes, I do. You see, we have 2 ears, but only one mouth. So a good leader will listen twice as much as he shouts.
Good lines overall in this show. A lot of good lines.
She is beautiful. Is she not?
Yes.
She was the best student in Salamanca. She came home to her father's estate. She was young and happy and hopeful. She read books and played music for her mother and sister and laughed while she waited for some nobleman to come and ask her hand in marriage. The French came instead. She hid and watched all they did. She saw them blind her father. She saw them rape her mother and sister Maria, who begged the French to kill them. They spared her sister, but killed her mother. At the end, she was raped as well. When the French were gone, she buried her mother.
Dang. Dude, talk about like a really tragic origin story there. Holy crap. But yeah, that's just war, right? War. It never changes. And you know, the French were known for their brutality in Spain as well. That's a key aspect of the Peninsula War. You hear about the French reprises as they were, and they could be just as brutal as even sometimes the guerrillas could be. It really was just an escalating as a conflict. The Peninsula War was so brutal, and yeah, you hear a lot of stuff and what the French did, so that kind of does make a lot of sense, you know what I mean? But still, yeesh. Yeah.
She plays no music now, nor reads books, nor smiles or sings. But today, I saw her smile. She smiled at you.
So they're definitely setting up like some type of romantic interest between Sharpe and her. So I think that's interesting. I'm wondering if that's going to carry on the entire series or not. But they're really, really heavily pushing and hinting, yeah, these two might just end up together, you know? So I guess we'll see. Alright, so this French, did they call him a corporal earlier? Yeah, but this French guy, like I said, he gives me, like, main antagonist energy. And, yeah, he seems to be the one hunting them, attacking them at random points. So that definitely an interesting antagonist from the distance, you know?
Village on fire!
Oh.
Village. Ha, vamos, vamos. No! Could be a trap. Is this the only way into the village? Yes. I'll send scouts ahead. Let my men do it.
Yeah, so the French saw what village they were going to and, like, basically attacked it and sacked it. Oh, wow, that's hardcore. Yeah, so sneak attack once again. Oh, dang. Holy crap. Alright, so once again, the French strike out of nowhere. They just keep jumping out of nowhere. I really like that aspect of it. But, yeah, they're hunting this chest that we don't fully know what's inside of it. But it's apparently light. And, I think there's definitely that mystery there. What the heck, is in it and why they want it so bad. So that's... that's interesting.
You say you are an Irishman, a prisoner. Why should you be loyal to the British dogs who want to take you to Lisbon to shoot you?
Jesus, you took the words out of my mouth.
I can help you. Give me the box.
Right. Fine. But what do I get?
You will be rich.
And if I don't?
You will be dead.
Well, you're having the best of the argument so far.
Who are you? What are you doing here?
I'm George Parker, traveling with my wife, Agatha, and my niece, Louisa. We're Methodist missionaries.
French, I heard him tell his men to set fire to the village to draw you away from the canyon.
That chest. You've lost that chest, Major.
Dang. Man, the French are really just playing chess right now, literally. Constantly moving around these guys, so... Yeah, very competent, adversaries that they're facing at the moment.
I will give you 100 guineas in gold and safe passage to America.
America? That'd be nice. But you see, the King of England owes me last month's wages. And there's no way I could rest easy in America knowing that that bastard owed me a shilling.
You would die for a shilling.
That's what I signed on to do.
You will have to do it then.
Oh, crap. Oh, dang, that's brutal.
There were two other fellas with him, and they asked me to hand over that old box.
So?
We had a bit of a barney, sir.
Fall in, Rifleman Harper.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Oh, wow. I thought they would build it up for a few episodes, but now we're getting into smooching already.
Sorry, I can't.
Oh.
Not yet. Sorry.
Fair. Considering the backstory we got, yeah, that's fair.
Trust me.
It's very hard to trust a man who wants to borrow a picklock, sir.
Wow. Yeah, that's kind of thing. Despite them working together, they don't trust each other. Sharpe, I was assuming, was trying to find out what exactly is in this box, and I guess they expected that. Yeah, that's kind of what I said, that they're definitely an alliance due to having a common enemy, but there is a certain lack of, you know, trust. And I was wondering if that was gonna become like a major issue, because I'm not sure where this series is gonna go. You know what I mean? I'm not sure what the ending point of all of this. So a part of me is like, is this gonna be like the entire series, like Sharpe having to work with these guys, or is this gonna be like a temporary thing? But yeah, there's definitely a lot of issues. Or this may be the part where they finally understand what the heck is going on, so... Yeah.
So, you could not wait until Tori Castro. Very well, you shall hear the story. 1,000 years ago, the Muslims swept across Spain on their way to Rome. My ancestors made a stand in these mountains, at a hard rock we call Tori Castro. They were many, we were few. We died hard. At sunset, my ancestor, dying, called on Santiago, St. James, the saint of Spain. Santiago came. He came with a banner of blood and a bright sword and slew the invaders in their thousands. And we dipped his banner in the blood and cried out, Santiago, child of thunder, child of battle. The gonfalon, the banner of blood, kept in my family for 1,000 years, lest we needed Santiago to keep his promise.
What promise, Major?
His promise that he would come again if Spain were invaded, as soon as we raised his banner over the chapel of Tori Castro.
Get to the point, Major.
There's only a small French garrison in Tori Castro. The people of the town know the legend, secretly believe it. As soon as we raise the banner over the little chapel, the people will rise up against the French invader.
Rise up? For a rag and a pole?
Wow. He gives his dramatic backstory of the significance. And he's like, for that? This show's kind of funny. I really like it. Yeah, as we do know, like, with the guerrilla warfare going on in Spain and just how the populace came to terrorize the French, it is interesting to see something like that, you know?
Be damned to you and your rag, sir. My rifles march at dawn. South, sir. Good night, miss.
Lieutenant Sharpe. I want you to seize the chapel of Tori Castro and hold it against all comers until Major Vivar has raised the gonfalon of Santiago over the chapel roof.
Seize Tori Castro?
Dang, that's what I was wondering what Brian Cox's character Hogan was doing. He was like, we kept cutting back to him, and I was like, huh, like I wonder what he's doing. He was even there in the earlier French assault, so sneak attack rather, and yeah, now that makes sense that he's kind of been in league with them. So wow, that was, I did not see that coming. It all makes sense to me now.
Do you really believe men will fight and die for a rag and a pole, sir?
You do, Richard. You do.
Dang. A lot of good, like, one-liners in this show so far. All these lines go hard, dude.
Richard, I knew you would not march to Tori Castro for a superstition. I'm like you. I don't believe in virgins or holy candles, but I believe in Spain. I had to choose between Spain and Richard Sharpe. I had no choice.
You did your duty. Now I must do mine.
Want to make me sergeant, sir?
Get a needle and thread. I need a sergeant by dawn.
I'll never make a proper sergeant, sir.
So? I'll never make a proper officer.
Indeed you will, sir. You'll make a grand killing officer.
Killing officer?
Ah, God love you, sir. I thought you would have known. There are two kinds of officers, sir. Killing officers and murdering officers. Killing officers are poor old buggers who get you killed by mistake. Murdering officers are mad, bad old buggers who get you killed on purpose. For a reason, for a country, for a religion. Maybe even for a flag. You see that Major Hogan, sir? That's what I'd call a murdering officer.
Teresa!
Oh, that Hogan. He's a murdering officer, all right.
Muy buena para el tío.
Mr. Sharpe, sir.
Ooh. Surrender?
I have the honor of knowing the Count.
The title of Count is in dispute between us, as of course is Spain itself.
Why? You're a Spaniard. Why do you fight against your country and your brother?
Politics. I am what is called a francesado, one who supports France.
Why?
Bonaparte brings the light of reason. There are two Spains, Lieutenant. My brother's Spain is a monastery, silence and superstition. My Spain is a court, science and scholarship. If you were Spanish, which would you choose, Lieutenant?
I am neither monk nor prince. So I would choose a tavern.
You have 30 minutes to surrender.
I suggest you surrender your sword and order your men to lay down their muskets.
We don't use muskets. We use rifles.
Heck yeah. But, that's kind of the thing, though. That's really interesting, that little, you know, there are some Spanish that support the French, because usually when you hear about the Peninsula War, you just hear that that Spain hated the French, like, as a whole, you know? I guess there would be some, I guess, who somewhat support the French. I'm not sure if they were the majority, though. It just usually when we cover the Peninsula War, it comes across like, you know, more like all of Spain just hated the French and wanted them out. But I guess with any conflict, there is gonna be parties on both sides to a degree. So this was definitely an interesting turn of events, you know, and a character who is Spanish but supports the French because of Napoleon's the reforms he sets to bring and whatnot. Yeah, so something I want to comment on really quick. I think like rifles were known to I think during the Napoleonic Wars, if I'm trying to recall from like the Epic History series we covered, especially his coverage in Spain, that I think the difference between muskets and rifles, I think rifles could shoot from a longer distance, right? And in that regard, more effective. I could be wrong about that, so don't quote me. But something else I want to comment on is definitely the battle scenes, which I think are really good. I mean, you can definitely tell that this is a TV production, and you know they don't probably and it's very practical. Obviously, no CGI. If there is, I couldn't see any, but I don't think they're using CGI. Very practical, very much you make do with what you have. And I know with like TV show budgets, you can only show so much, right, in terms of action. So definitely the scale of the fights are smaller, but I don't mean that as a diss. I mean, like, you know, obviously when you're working with a show budget, you gotta do what you gotta do. But I think what they're doing with what they have is incredibly well, because I think it's very, you know, intimate, I guess is the word I'm gonna use, very close. And it kind of works for the Peninsula War, because, you know, with the Peninsula War, a lot of it was guerrilla fighting. So I think the way they're going about it is definitely great, because, like, again, these fights feel more like skirmishes and whatnot. And, you know, and I think they're doing a really good job at making them feel very close quartered, and I think it's working really well so far for the show, you know? Oh snap. Rapier, dual time. Oh, dang.
Eres. Secrets. Hermano.
Wow. Heck yeah. The mission was accomplished, and I guess this is, from now on, we're definitely gonna be seeing a lot more, or hearing a lot more of the Spanish people, rising up against the French in the coming episodes. I really like the music, like, you know, I didn't comment on this earlier, but I kind of like the electric guitar. I mean, is it an electric guitar? It sounds like, kind of like, I don't know, like, it kind of like, it's very 90s, but I mean that in like the best way possible. Like, when I think of like the Napoleonic Wars, usually think of like drums and stuff, but here's like in the background. I kind of like that, by the way. Like, it's just like, yeah, I didn't think you would put like that it's not what I think of like the Napoleonic Wars, but it like really works for the show. It's like so 90s, but like in a good way though. Like I really like it. Yeah, I dig it for sure, man. Oh snap.
No shooting! He's mine!
Oh snap. Wow.
Who fired that?
Me, sir.
I did not expect him to kill him off. I thought he was gonna be like a reoccurring antagonist because he was just kind of showing up everywhere. But wow, I did not expect him to die off the first episode. They killed off the two main antagonists, at least of this episode, right here, number 1. So like I said, I'm not sure where the show is gonna go from here, which is great because like it makes the journey much more interesting to not know. But yeah, I almost had thought he would be like a reoccurring antagonist, this French like colonel and stuff.
Major Hogan's orders, I held Tori Castro long enough to effect an uprising. I deemed my duty done and thought it prudent to return to wait further orders, sir.
You did damn well, Sharpe. Napoleon will be in a fearful rage about Tori Castro. Heads will roll, morale will suffer, which is all to the good. Because next month I mean to cross into Spain and give Marshal Victor a damn good thrashing. Pity about James Rothschild. I presume he's left the country.
On the contrary, sir.
He's here in this room, sir.
Oh wow.
Your banker's draft, Sir Arthur.
Wellington's face like, what the fudge? I didn't see that coming either. Dang, this show keeps getting me like I don't know what the heck's happening, and I love that. This is a bloody good show. If I must, I'm sorry, I'll never say that again. But this is a really good episode 1. Oh my goodness.
Wellesley's going to take the army into Spain. It'll be bugles, battles, and bags of glory. Stick with me, Richard. I'll see you right.
You'll see me dead, sir.
Oh, that's my boy. Oh, well done, Pat.
Awesome. So that was episode 1 of Sharpe's Rifled. Overall, I really liked it. I had a lot of enjoyment looking at it. And yeah, I could definitely see me looking at all the rest of the episodes now, for sure. Like I said, I am planning on doing it either way, because once I get something started, I never like leaving it undone. I may have said earlier on, but I'll admit, I'm gonna put this out, and we'll see if it does well or not. Hopefully, I might move a little bit more faster, if it does, and if, you know, you guys want to go on this adventure with me, yeah, I should probably stop and just get to posting this already. So yeah, guys, I guess I'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.